Unlock the door, bitch. I'm on my way, and I got chicken strips.
I don't know why they call them chasers. It's not like Chubs can run real fast.
Double vodka with hot brownie chasers.
She just wanted to watch me eat it. Naked.
I can't say that. That's dirty.
Chasers will do anything to get into your pants. I love them.
Stop it! Stop!
Oh, God.
Chubs gone wild.
Well, hello, Tommy. Well, hello, Tommy. It's nice to have you back on Chubs Gone Wild. 526. Recorded on January 8th, 2024, where it is 532 degrees and mostly cloudy. Actually, I think that's supposed to be 53. And it is 37 days till Valentine's Day, 297 until Halloween, and 352 until Christmas. And guess what? I've already got my Christmas cards written out for next year. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. So, anyway, maybe. All right.
Oh, by the way, Jerry Herman called from the grave, and he's going to sue you for using his music and slap your face for that performance.
Well, hello. Anyway. All right. I tried. Anyway, Patreon offers folks a way to support creators and receive rewards not open to the general public, like my Life in Fragments podcasts, books, videos, and more. And we want to thank our current patrons, Clint, Nephi Nick, DJ Starsage from the Universe, Eric, Sean, Phoenix Dave, Brother Sinatus, Kingsley, and Moose P. And now, Kathy Bacon. Yay!
Wow.
Yes.
Baconator.
Please visit patreon.com/Matt Burlingame and find out how you can support our work for as little as $1 a month. Yay!
By the way, have you tried the Baconator?
When it first came out years ago, and I loved it, but I haven't tried it lately.
It's fantastic. Fantastic. Yeah, it's amazing how I've always liked the burgers there.
Mhm.
But when that Baconator came in, it was like, okay, this has changes
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, I remember really liking it. But so okay, well, you know what? I think when Heather and I get together this Thursday, if the restaurant's still open by the time she gets here, I will see if we can get a Baconator. That's awesome. Okay, let's see. Well, we have a little bit of history going on here. Oh wait, no. Before we do that, we have to take a deep breath and center ourselves. Today's affirmation: I get along with everyone in my place of work. Together, we create an atmosphere of mutual respect. Well, yeah.
Yeah, you work
Self-employed.
alone in your bedroom. Yeah,
I
I think
respect myself.
yeah. And the animals tend to bark too much when you're recording, but otherwise,
They don't respect anything.
they love you. They might not respect you.
That's true. Yeah, they try.
Hey, did you see that meme with the video with the guy pulling a tapeworm out the horse's nose?
Tapeworm?
Or some kind of worm out of the nose of a horse. It was disturbing, very disturbing.
I would think so. Poor horse.
Yeah.
Ugh. All right. Ugh. All right.
Yeah.
Well, today in history, Harvey Milk, the first gay elected official in the history of California, takes his place on the San Francisco Board of Supervisors on January 8th, 1978. The first and, for years, most visible, openly gay politician in America, Milk was a longtime activist and pioneering leader of San Francisco's LGBT community. That was before we added the Q. Uh, After serving in the Navy during the Korean War, Milk held several white-collar jobs in New York City, initially conservative and reluctant to advocate for gay rights. Milk's views changed around the time he and his then partner opened a camera shop on Castro Street, the heart of San Francisco's LGBT community in 1973. That was a big, big day for us. Oh, and also as a subnote, 1992, President George H.W. Bush vomits on the Prime Minister of Japan. Again, another wonderful event for the gay community. All righty, Roo. Let's see if we celebrated any holidays today. Wow, there's a number of them, starting with Argyle Day. Are you wearing Argyle?
No.
Damn, me neither. Bubble Bath Day. Did you have a bubble bath?
I don't have a bath.
Yeah, I know, but you know, we keep open. Actually, your shower's gorgeous. All right, next up, oh, and I have a seat for it, one of those seats if you need to sit down in your shower, I have one of those for you. Let's see, then we have Earth's Rotation Day. We're very happy about that. We have celebrated. National Career Coach Day. I coach you to take retirement. Okay, so I've done that. Clean off your desk. I was going to be cute and knock stuff off my desk, but that really irritates me, so I'm not going to. Let's see. English Toffee Day. No, but I could because Mother is obsessed with the little crumbles from the inside of Heath bars. She puts it on her ice cream all the time.
Yeah, Sean made up some candied ginger.
Oh.
And yeah, I mean it's okay, but I think I'd like it better as a topping,
Uh-huh.
or put it in a food processor and just pulverize it into like a sugar.
Mm-hmm.
It's, you could use it for like warm drinks or
Mm.
ice cream or that kind of stuff. But yeah, it's a little too spicy.
Yeah, ginger, especially raw ginger, or things that come from raw ginger, it has a real bite to it. I learned that when I was trying to do the green juicing thing, and I'm like, oh, ginger, I'll put a big piece of ginger in. Oh, it was not as pleasant as I thought it was going to be. There was no bread. All right, moving on. National Gluten-Free Day. Yeah, kind of fucked that up already. All right. Also, let's see. Joy Germ, National Joy Germ Day.
What
Did
does
you?
that mean?
I have no idea. You know what? There's this little tool that I learned about called Google.
Oh, I thought it was wiener.
What is, well, you think everything's wiener, right?
I
What
do.
is Joy Germ, which is one word, by the way. All right. National AIDS Joy Germ Day reminds people across the country that by being positive and treating people with kindness, they can influence those around them and pass that positive attitude on to others.
Boo. I mean, yes, it works, but that they've come up with something ridiculous like Joy Germ is gross.
Well, let's try it. I really like you. I thought that trolling was one of the best plays I had ever seen.
Well, it is.
And I thought it had absolutely one of the best sets ever built.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, yeah. See, look at your smile. Oh, never mind. I guess it's just, you're immune. All right. It's also National Man Watchers Day. Did that today with my
Oh
doctor.
yeah.
Mm, yeah. National Winter Skin Relief Day.
Okay.
Okay. Show and tell day at work. Well, watch the video. That's what we're doing. Also, it's a War on Poverty Day. We need that actually. And also World Typing Day. Done.
Wait, typing?
Yeah,
Okay.
World Typing Day. Mhm.
It's not even called typing anymore. Well, how can you have that?
I don't know.
Okay.
Some of these things are just a little bizarre, but we love them anyway. All right. Well, now we have some birthdays. When your friends have birthdays, they will appear here. Okay, so apparently, uh, oh, well, no wonder. I was on the Chubs Gone Wild page. It was a little different. Here we go. Today's birthdays. Happy birthday to you, Carlos, Angelique, Mike, and Byron. And upcoming birthdays. Happy birthday to, I kind of wish them once, but we're just going to do this again because we're so nice. Joanna Cassis, former BGT host. Also, Larry Vader from the Little Fetty Cast.
Wait,
And
wasn't Joanna's birthday last week?
no, actually, because we recorded on Thursday and
Yeah.
we did a full week, it there's a few
Oh,
birthdays.
okay. Okay,
Yeah.
got it.
But also Larry Vader, Little Fatty Cast, and I believe one of Kathy Bacon's crushes. Anyway, just saying. Let's see. Then we have Rob. Happy birthday, Rob. Lee, Blind Guy Jay, although he doesn't really go by that anymore, I guess. But anyway, happy birthday, Jay. He is a local Sacramento boy. And him and his husband, or he and his husband and he, never mind. Moving on. Also, James Oz, who is one of our local town criers.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he was.
yes, he was.
And
Although
then,
he still sends me events here and there. So
yeah, but it was great when he was doing it because that kept the Lambda players in everybody's mind.
that's true. He was instrumental in that. That was great.
And then he stopped, and we felt it.
Yeah. Also, actor Johnny, and then also local personality, also named Johnny, but a different spelling. How weird. How weird is that? On the same day, even. I know two Johns on the same day.
Is that Terry?
One of them, yes.
Okay.
And then we have Robin, Billy Starsage, husband to what's his name? No, I'm kidding. One of our patrons, DJ Starsage from the Universe. And then we have Cindy, Scott, two Scotts, although one of them is Scott Satersphere. We also have Paul, Shane. Don't yawn at birthdays. Don't yawn at
No, I
birthdays.
was yawning at Scott.
Oh, Scott. He's gonna come for you. You're gonna come for him.
Oh, she doesn't listen to this show anymore.
Oh, I don't know. Every once in a while, I mean, he may catch at least the first like 30, 45 minutes. So
I mean, I'm going to Vegas this week, and Vegas used to always scare me because I always, thought of him at Vegas because he's so intimidating.
he is.
Yeah. So, but now, I can go there and feel, no, I'm terrified he's going to show up.
He might. You never know with him. All right. Also, Dory, our friend Doug, my former neighbor Doug.
Yes.
Hello, Doug. It's his birthday coming up. And Marina, formerly of the I Love Lard podcast. But she has lots of other writing projects and stuff going on. She is pretty freaking awesome. And then, of course, we, in memorandum, my Uncle Jim, who passed away years ago from cancer. All right. What are we doing next? Well, let's just go over here to the Trello and find out, right? Oh, it's something's in our feed bag. It's from Mr. Moose. And he says the cookies with the red and green
Oh yeah,
specks
yeah.
had candied fruit chopped up into them. It was candied pineapple and cranberry for sure. Don't know what else. I ate one cookie, and that was enough for me. The rest of the cookies were great, but those with the fruit tasted too much like fruit cake. Yuck. Oh, I love fruitcake. Anyway, he says, don't tell my neighbor. Hope she doesn't listen. All right. Thank you for letting us know, Mr. Moose. We appreciate that. And I like fruitcake. Although I got a really nice one from Mr. Ouija this year and I wasn't able to finish it, but that was for other reasons.
Well, why not?
We had after Christmas, we had so much candy and cakes and stuff that was given to us, which was wonderfully appreciated, that I could have gone into a sugar coma for days. But it just we opened it. I had about we had several slices of it and just weren't able to finish it in time, and it got kind of stale. But
Oh,
it tasted wonderful.
next time, wrap it up in cellophane, some sort of wrap,
Oh yeah, yeah.
and freeze it.
Yeah, I was surprised because I mean we closed it well, but it just I don't know. I guess it wasn't well enough because but I should have just dunked it in some moist something or other. But oh, and you know one thing that I'm
Put a
now
little
off of.
spiced rum over the top of it.
One thing I'm kind of off of now is eggnog. I used to love to have just like get a quart of eggnog one time each year around the holidays and just sip it over a few days. And now I just don't want it.
Yeah, what if a good alternative to that is just have some hot soup and let your nose drain into it, and then eat the snot, because that's what eggnog is. It's a big carton of snot. It's
Mm,
disgusting. Wait, do you put
yummy,
bourbon in there?
yummy, yummy, sugary
I mean,
snot.
do you put any bourbon into
Oh
the
God,
eggnog?
no. You know I barely drink at all.
Well, I know, but I can't think of any more reason to have eggnog if you're not even getting alcohol.
Because I loved just the silly, the cheapy little eggnog shit that you just buy in the store. But I would have like 2 cups of it a year and then be like, okay, that's enough. Now I don't like it at all for some reason.
And this year we made hot apple cider with spice brandy and hot chocolate with amaretto.
That sounds absolutely disgusting. And only because I don't do the alcohol. It just doesn't taste good to me. Of course, you give me a fruity drink and I have to watch myself because I'll drink that shit down. Anyway, moving on. It is time for Chub Hugs. Do you have any Chub Hugs that you want to send out?
Well, just to well, first of all, I did want to say that I was correct. We had a bunch of deaths over the last, few weeks.
Mm,
Just and it's this cold. I really think the cold just comes in and snatches people.
mm,
So, especially people who are already sick.
mm.
Uh, anyway, but and also, what is this? Why is there's so much war going on right now?
Oh, I know. It's fucking
Needs-
insane.
It just needs to stop.
Yeah. Yep. Uh, okay. I totally agree. And those all deserve Chub Hugs. All right, so my Chub Hugs are a little, may seem a little odd, but they're actually going out to Mehdi Hassan or Hussein, depending on how you want to say it. He had his own show on MSNBC, and he has announced in the day that he was leaving, they canceled his show. And so he said, not only is this my last show, but this is my last day at MSNBC. And he left. And you know what? I hope he goes on to have an amazing career doing other stuff. And he is one of the best interview journalists I think I've ever seen. I
I
mean,
mean,
he hardballs, and he doesn't hardball to be an asshole and to get ratings and stir shit up. He does it because he's going for the facts and he's calling them on their shit. And I think NBC didn't like that.
oh no, they like that. No, there's got to be
Mhm.
another reason why his
I don't
it
know.
probably wasn't getting the ratings.
His ratings were actually really good.
Do you know that for sure?
Yes. I
Okay,
watched a big thing on it today and they said his ratings were just fine.
okay, but they
So
didn't say why they let him go. Okay,
mm. Anyway, but I hope he goes on to do some other really great stuff. I mean, he's a good journalist. So, all right, moving on from there, we do have some celebrity deaths to report this year so far, starting with Christian Oliver, known for roles in the 2008 film Speed Racer and also Saved by the Bell, The New Class. He actually was killed January 4th in a plane crash in the Eastern Caribbean with his two young daughters. Very sad. Very, very sad. And he was 51, very young too. David Soul, who hit fame as the blonde half of the crime-fighting duo Starsky and Hutch in the popular 1970s TV series, died at 80 years old on January 4th. Glynis Johns, a Tony Award-winning stage and screen star who played Mrs. Banks in the movie Mary Poppins, died on January 4th. She was 100. Cindy Morgan, best known for her roles in the 1980s films Caddyshack and Tron, died of natural causes at the age of 69. Franz,
natural causes at 69. That seems odd, but okay.
uh,
But and if you think about it now, a lot of people aren't going to remember her name because she
right.
wasn't. That's the thing. There's very few actresses that survive
Mm,
movies. And she starred in two movies, Tron and Caddyshack, two of the big
mhm.
popular movies from the 80s. And so I was kind of feeling bad, but then she did have a really good career. I mean,
Yeah,
I mean, I'm not remembered for Legal Eagles,
right.
and when I die, it's not going to say Tom Swanner, who best remembered in Legal Eagles. They're not going to do that, but she's got two things that everybody in our circle, our age group,
Mhm.
is going to know: either Caddyshack or Tron, if not both of them. So good for her.
Yeah.
Sorry,
However, now I'm making a note to myself. Tom's obituary.
right?
Eagle Eagles. When do you think we're going to need to print that? Okay, moving on. Franz Beckenbauer, that works, Beckenbauer, who won the World Cup both as player and coach and became one of Germany's most beloved personalities with his easygoing charm, died, and he was 78. So, so there's that. All right, so I thought for celebrity news, what we would do is we would go ahead and open up the page of the complete list of Golden Globes 2024 nominees and winners, and we just go over some of them, not all of them, of course. So I'm going to read what the nominees were, and then we'll talk about the winner, and we'll see what if we agree or like it or whatever. Okay, best motion picture nominees were Anatomy of the Fall, Killers of the Flower Moon, Maestro, Oppenheimer, Past Lives, and A Zone of Interest. And you know what? I don't remember any of those except for Maestro, which I still haven't seen, and Oppenheimer, which I haven't seen. But
Yeah,
Oppenheimer won.
yeah. Most of those shows are foreign films.
Yeah, that's probably why I don't
Yeah,
recognize
I mean,
them.
we don't see those things here. They don't, occasionally the tower will play them, but
Mhm.
until they come on to streaming, we don't have much of an opportunity to see any of these movies. So
Right.
or even hear about them anymore.
Yeah, I haven't heard of several of them. So do you, well, you probably haven't seen many of them either, but do you think Oppenheimer was deserving?
I don't know. I haven't seen any of them.
Oh, you haven't seen Oppenheimer? I thought you had.
No,
Okay.
no, I didn't get to see.
I
I figured
don't want
Universal was going to throw that yeah onto Peacock, so I waited.
to. Mm,
Still haven't.
yeah, no, it just, I don't want to see movies like that, frankly. All right, moving on. Best motion picture, musical, or a comedy? Air, American Fiction, Barbie, The Holdovers, May, December, and Poor Things. And Poor Things won. Did you see it?
Nope.
No?
At
Sad.
least I've seen some of them in the category.
Yeah, I know you've seen Barbie. What else? May, December?
No.
Okay.
What are the other ones?
Air,
I
American
saw that one.
Fiction. Okay. American
Yeah.
Fiction, Barbie, The Holdovers, May, December, Poor Things.
Yeah, just the Air and Barbie. I'm
Okay.
gonna see the Holdovers. That's over on Peacock
Hmm.
for free. And but the rest of them, like Poor Things, is at theaters right now.
Hmm.
And
Okay.
and yeah, so
Okay. Best motion picture animated. Who cares? Moving on. Although The Boy and the Heron won. So let's see. Best motion picture non-English? Nah. Cinematic box office achievement. Okay. So the awards, the nominees were Barbie, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, John Wick Chapter 4, Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1, Oppenheimer, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, the Super Mario Brothers movie, and Taylor Swift The Eras Tour. And Barbie won.
yeah, I watched the show.
Yeah, that's nice. Anyway, so what do you think? Did
About
Barbie
what?
deserve to win that category?
Oh, it was a phenomenon that happened this year. Of course, she deserved it.
Okay.
I mean, think about it. I mean, you can say, well, Taylor Swift's tour, not the movie, the tour
Mm,
was impressive. And she's a phenomenon. But movie wise, the biggest movie of the year was Barbie. And how it ended up being the movie of the year, I don't know, because we both saw it and think it's kind of blah.
mm,
So but it changed a lot of things that, I mean, a lot of people, people were going, dressing in pink
hmm.
just to say that they were part of the Barbie movie.
Those little Barbie boxes that people would get their photos in were
Oh yeah,
all over the place.
right. So yeah, I mean, Oppenheimer and some of the others were, Super Mario Brothers
Mm,
made almost as much money as Barbie,
yeah.
but you know what? I didn't see people dressing like Mario and Luigi.
That's true. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. I was kind of surprised that was in there, but I do like it. I thought it was a great movie. Okay, moving on. Let's see if there's any okay. We didn't watch most of those, so who knows? Oh, best performance by an actor in a motion picture. Um, Bradley Cooper, Maestro, Leonard DiCaprio, Killers of the Flower Moon. Other
Leonardo,
people, what?
not
Andrew Scott.
You said Leonard DiCaprio.
Oh, Leonardo.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, shit. Okay. And then we have oh, anyway, Oppenheimer, Cillian Murphy
Right.
won, but they also nominated Barry Cogan for Saltburn. Hmm.
Well, they nominated his wiener for Saltburn.
I wouldn't mind. I mean, he's an odd duck, but I thought he did a great job.
Ah,
Anyway, Emma Stone, Poor Things, won for Best Actress. And then Best Performance by an Actor was Paul Giamatti from The
Holdovers.
Holdovers. Matt Damon was nominated. He lost.
Yeah, um,
Oh,
Lily Gladstone was the woman, the actress from Killer Moon. She won Best Actress in a Drama.
okay.
Gladstone? I think it was Gladstone.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then Robert Downey Jr. won Best Supporting for
Right.
Oppenheimer. That's great. And then Christopher Nolan won for Best Director for Oppenheimer.
And don't forget the actress for supporting actress from The Holdovers.
Mhm.
She had some big boobs.
What was it? There was something I was watching the other day that
They
I,
had
I
big
don't know. It
boobs.
was some show or something like that, and all the whole time, all I'm thinking is, God, that woman has huge tits. And I meant that in the most loving, supportive, and
I get it. I get it.
non-judgmental way. It was just like, you know how like you're just watching this person, this actor, and then you're just thinking, my goodness, that's all I can see is her boobs.
So how
Okay.
big were the boobs?
Uh okay, they're big enough that I'm actually talking about it here
Okay,
like a
okay.
week later. I mean, it was just weird. It was like that's all I could see, and that's not what I'm looking at. But
Well, yeah, no, men, gay men do like big, well, they get focused on pretty big boobs. That's just kind of
I
goes.
guess, but it was just like I
Well, the
wow,
woman from the holdovers,
talk
she
about
had,
upstaging.
yeah, this woman from the holdovers, she had a um strapless dress with, how you get the um oh, I can't think of what it's called, but they basically put in a like a fake front that holds the boobs up.
Oh yeah.
But you can see the cleavage and the
Mm,
heaviness of and she had on that kind of dress, and she's kind of a big girl too. Well, she
mm.
is a big girl, and so it was like, well, that's a lot of boobs for a lot of dress. But
Yeah.
you know what? Uh, Women want to be pretty when they go out, even if they're character actresses. So good for her.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
and it was like it was nothing as her. It was obviously the costumer and the director that was so okay, but it was just like, that's like upstaging. It's like really kind of distracting. And if I'm noticing it, any straight guy is probably not going to be watching the show. They're going to be
Well,
watching
right. It's like when John Hamm walks down the street. It's
that.
distracting.
In those gray sweatpants, it's like you're not looking at anything but swing, swing, swing. Yeah.
I mean, that's the only reason I watched the track and field during the Olympics.
Oh, track and field. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's 1984. Greg Louganis. I was glued to the screen. Anyway, all right. Enough about all that, and enough about the awards. Yeah, some of these shows I just don't know. Anyway, but hey, Tom wants to talk to you about.
Well, not much. It was a tough week for TV. It
Yeah.
really was. I mean, most of my shows have hit their finale and they're gone now.
Mhm.
So let's see. Starting off with we're just finishing up the challenge over on Paramount Plus.
Mhm.
We got one episode left. It's the finals, the very finals. So we'll probably watch that tonight or tomorrow. Let's see. I finally realized that It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia is a poor man's version of Seinfeld, because these guys really don't do anything all day, but they
Mhm.
come up with a topic and they run the topic for the 20 minutes, 21 minutes of the show.
Mhm.
And like Seinfeld, they're very selfish, very if it doesn't help my day, then I don't care kind of people. And they're the same, but this is just like this is more of a I want to say what do you call it's a working man's Seinfeld.
Okay. That
And
gotcha.
I'm not sure that's a good thing.
Mhm.
So let's see. The Real O'Neills. First of all, I was shocked to find out there was only 26 episodes, because I knew it ran 2 years, but I
Yeah,
guess
yeah,
here it ran 10 episodes and then 16. It
yeah.
was
It was a
uh,
short one.
yeah. Let's see. I also saw a show called Jules on Paramount Plus. It is Ben Kingsley. He plays an elderly man who lives by himself. His wife is dead. his daughter lives in town, but she mostly complains that he's, going senile and or Alzheimer-y, and she's worried about him and wants to put him in a home. His son is somewhere in California, never talks to him. So every week he goes to the city council meeting and complains that um, the motto of the town is a place you can call home. But is that the right thing to say? It almost sounds like you calling home, like you're calling, not I'm calling this my home. It's more like I'm calling home and that's not here. And it's and they're like, okay, we're not changing the name. And then the next person comes up and it's this one woman who goes, and I can't think of her name, but you know her, she's been in everything.
Okay.
She's like an American version of a little older American version of Olivia Colman.
Oh, okay.
So really, and she's a wonderful actress.
Hmm.
She her thing is she wants to start an older, younger group in the town because she thinks that younger people she could teach them so much about life, and of course it sounds more like a sex group, younger older type thing,
Okay.
right?
Yeah,
So
right.
immediately that's what's running through your head. And then Jane
Yeah.
Clayton is the third character in the show, and she's trying to get a pickleball tournament in the town because it's really good for seniors knees. So this is, and they every week they do the same shit. And at the council meeting, well, Ben Kingsley goes home and he's asleep, and all of a sudden he wakes up, he hears a noise, he goes outside, and there is a spaceship that's crashed in his backyard in his azaleas, and it's broken his fountain. So he tries to call 911 and they hang up on him. So then he goes to the council meeting the next week and goes, he gives his regular pitch, and then he goes, oh, and by the way, a spaceship crashed into my azaleas in my backyard and broke my fountain. What are we going to do about it? And they're like, thank you, sir. And he's like, ah. So all of a sudden the two women figure out that he's serious. And so they go to his house and they find out there's actually first he's just kind of lets the ship sit there and then does nothing. And then the second or third day, all of a sudden there's an alien on my goddamn backyard now. Not only have they broken my azaleas and they ruined my bird bath, but now there's an alien in my yard. What am I going to do about this? So then he goes and he covers him up and gives him a glass of water. And then all of a sudden he comes the next day and oh, he's like walking around. Oh, okay. So then they become kind of friends, even though they're not friends. And then the women show up and they go, oh my God, there's an alien in your room. And he's like, yeah, yeah. He likes apples. It's really a cute show. It's a really cute show.
What is the name of it again?
Jules, Jules.
Okay. Now I remember seeing a preview for that. Okay. I want to watch that. Yeah.
Really cute. And it's got a really good ending. Uh,
Oh, good.
let's see. Then I saw the Dave Chappelle special,
Oh, yeah.
and it's probably one of the best stand-ups I've seen in years. Well,
Wow.
no, I think it is the best stand-up I've seen in years. He was just fantastic, very funny. And and he's a comic, so he insults everybody, but he's pretty well, he kind of passes around. He immediately starts off with, and if you're here because you think I'm going to make fun of certain people that were angry at me the last time, well, I'm not going to be making fun of those people at all. So don't, well, at least not until later in the show. But I'm not making fun of any of those people. This year, I'm going after the handicapped, you know.
Oh, jeez.
So, and it was just really funny. And at one point, my favorite part was he's like talking about people who, have a, they got a lot to work up against, they got a lot against them as they're in their life. And so those people that had that kind of stuff, they get they kind of had a anger that builds on that. Well, that's why gay people are so mean. Anyway, throws that out there. I was howling. Brian hated
Okay.
it. I thought it was terrific.
Okay.
Brian hated it because he felt he was too apologetic and he wasn't funny enough. And it's like, Well, the apologies led into an insult. So I don't know where you get and why he thought it wasn't funny. I think probably because Dave Chappelle is just he's a real master at his art, and he knows how to dance around without being the last time the last one where the transgender community was mad at him, they had not seen the show, and his story was about
Hmm.
a friend of his that was transgender.
Oh,
It
okay.
wasn't insulting transgenders at all. It was trying to prop up and promote them. But if anybody had seen the show, they would have known that. They didn't see it, so they complained about it. Anyway, moving on.
Hmm.
Um, so on Saturday, I was up at Sean's stepfather's 80th birthday. And so it was his family, uh, uh, the the stepfather's family, his other children were there, and then Sean's mom and her children and spouses and grandchildren. Of course, we didn't have the grandchildren, but you know what I'm saying.
Okay. Yeah.
So, everything, it was kind of fine. It was a lot of people, and now, I mean, yeah, it was three of his children and their families, which included children and some grandchildren. So great grandchildren were there as well. And then on the other side, it was Sean's sister and her husband and two kids, and Sean and I. So, we were, getting along, we were talking, yak, yak, yak. Well, after when people started leaving, this one of the grandchildren was like, okay, and she goes, oh, did you meet Tom? And he goes, I think, did we? And I go, well, I'm Tom. And he goes, oh, I'm this. And she goes, yeah, he's my stepson. I mean, my son-in-law. He's my
Uh-huh.
son. And I'm like, yeah, yes. And it was like, because I've always felt like the roommate, the
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
guy that he lives with, because
Yeah.
there's no pictures of us at the house
Mhm.
up on any wall, anywhere, anything.
Oh.
Pictures of his sister and her family, but not us. So, yeah, so just getting the acknowledgement of son-in-law was like a big deal. So
Yeah. No, that's great.
that was the most memorable part of that whole thing. Except, oh my God, it was weird. Right through heading to their place up 5, there is a bird sanctuary,
Mm.
and but the birds were flying everywhere. It was like a scene out of the birds, at Alfred Hitchcock, the birds just everywhere. And I thought, well, maybe they're like there's going to be an earthquake or something, because sometimes when birds just fly, they don't want to land because they don't trust what's happening on the ground.
Mm.
Check out all the Godzilla movies. The birds are always flying before Godzilla comes out. So, um, and so I was just like, this is weird. And then finding out that it's a very large sanctuary. And so if one group of birds starts flying, that makes the other ones start flying. But the way it looked in the sky, it was just ominous. Um, that was really creepy. And then we had, the storm that you had on Saturday,
Hmm.
we kind of drove past it. I mean, it was like at our tail, and then it never hit their area. So when we came back, there was like ground fog that I hadn't seen in a long time. It was really scary. When we were driving down 5, we completely missed Woodland because it was covered in fog. It was just
Huh.
weird. It was very weird. And then came back, and it's like, I think it rained a lot more here than we think.
Uh-huh.
Um,
Did.
and because everything was just saturated in the place. So, oh, and I did put up the TV, the 85-inch TV. I sent you the pictures.
Yeah.
It is so big, and usually I'm not really surprised when I see so big, but this is so big. It's actually, I would say that if you're considering getting an 85-inch TV, reconsider getting an 85-inch TV. It's Unless you got a huge room.
Mm.
I just know that if I'm standing 2 feet in front of like if I'm at the front of the TV to pick up something or, do something, I actually get dizzy if I look at the TV. It's just too big. So just a
Yeah.
thought.
It was pretty. It is pretty big. But
But yeah, and
it doesn't mean that I don't want one, but I just, yeah, I understand after seeing those pictures that,
well, I mean, it like you have your bedroom, you have what, a 55?
yeah, 52, I think.
Okay. Yeah, just imagine adding another 30 inches to that.
Yeah, that's just so crazy.
Yeah, and because my front window,
And I'd
it,
still
it
do
is
it.
just slightly smaller than my front window, and my front window is like 7%.
Yeah, actually, that could probably fit in my window. Okay.
That'd be a great thing to do during the summertime. That would keep that hot. Oh no, no,
Probably fry the
TV would
back
get,
of it.
yeah,
Yeah.
your TV would get hot. That's true. Well, okay, well. Anyway, mutual shows.
Okay, well, unfortunately, the only mutual show that I know of right now is Percy Jackson episode, or Percy Jackson, and I've only seen up to episode 3,
Oh
uh,
no.
which is, I think, actually, unless something just dropped
On Friday.
on Friday. Okay, yeah, I've been pretty busy with projects and stuff this last week, so.
Yeah, yeah. I can see that by all your watching. Um,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Well, anyway, the fourth episode is a new episode.
Okay.
I mean, a new episode that we haven't seen in a previous movie.
Okay, awesome. Great.
Yeah, this one they're on a train,
Mm-hmm.
and another one of those terrible people's trying to get to them, and they end up in uh, St. Louis and in the Arch, or the art,
Interesting. Hmm.
so but they're fun episodes.
Well, I certainly like number 3, and actually it's one of those things where like the further I got from it time wise, the more I was thinking about it, and the more that I do that, the more that I know that I liked something, or at least it left an impression on me. So I'm looking forward to more. So I'll probably try to watch that tonight. Okay, so then into my week. Um, this week, like I said, it's been mostly projects and stuff, including putting away Christmas. Mom actually was a huge help. My knee was really messed up this week to the point I could barely walk on it, and was having to put like lidocaine patches and stuff like that just to get around. Thankfully, it's doing a lot better now. But because of that, mom helped me, and we had like within about 3 hours, we had Christmas completely put away, put in the closet, and everything. So part of me is always a little sad about it. And then for a while, part of me really enjoys the nice wide open space reclaimed as well. So,
Yeah, well, that's the thing I always like, because you, as anybody that knows me knows that Christmas comes down the 26th,
mm,
and because I like a nice clean house for New Year's.
yeah.
So that was the nice thing. The maid came
Mm,
uh 2 days before New Year's Eve. So the house is all clean and nice, and so the tree was gone. I can't wait till she sees this TV though, because
yeah, she's probably,
scare the hell out of her.
yeah.
Poor little thing. But yeah, it's just there's something really nice about putting away Christmas, because after you do, you everything's kind of clean for the new year.
Yeah, and but
Fresh
for
start.
us, it's usually like right after New Year's. There have been a couple years where I'm just like, okay, I need to things need to be put away. But usually I will leave stuff up until just after New Year. But so did that. Clint uh and our friend Seaman decided that they wanted to go axe throwing. There's an axe throwing place that is right across from where we have happy hour and have dinner sometimes downtown.
Honestly, I think an axe throwing place in the gay district is a very dangerous thing.
I know, right? But it was there, and he wanted to do it. It was $15 per person for half an hour.
To throw an axe.
Yeah, And then one person got a beer, one person got a non-alcoholic beer, and I got a Mountain Dew. And then we threw axes
Do
for
they,
a little
do
over
they
half
have
an hour.
food?
Nope.
Ugh,
So
this
for a
sounds like
little over half an hour, we threw axes. There were some pinball machines. Actually, I will say it's a really nice place and it's a really good setup. And but I got one. I got my axe to stick one time in the 1 point thing, and I took it. They Clint got like 80. Seaman got like 60, and I just kept hitting that. Hey, blump, axe fall to the ground, blump, axe fall to the ground. So I took my 1 point and I was happy. So there was that. And then so I had to go to the doctor today, and I have not been actually to the doctor in person for about a year and a half. So I got in, and I basically had to be told that I had an abnormal result in a colon test thing. So I have to go in for the big colonoscopy thing in February. Not, yeah, I know you love it because you're a big whore bottom. Anyway, but hey, there's
oh,
nothing
oh,
wrong with
okay.
that. Whore bottoms are wonderful.
And speaking of that, can I tell you one thing? Hold on to that thought.
Uh-huh.
Not the whole bottom, but your bottom. Um, you didn't watch Andy and Anderson on New Year's, right?
The only part I saw was the cat bar clip.
Okay. Well, he Andy and they had Bowen Yang and some other guy on with them. And at one point, Andy goes, "Ugh, Anderson's just a party bottom. You just pass him around."
Oh,
On
wow.
TV. And it was like so hilarious.
That
So
is funny, but
yeah.
wow.
So yeah.
He might
So
find
I'm
himself
not
with Griffin
I'm
eyes if he's
insulted when
not
you call me a
careful.
whore bottom.
What's that?
I'm just not insulted when you call me a whore bottom.
Oh, you shouldn't be insulted. You should own it.
Sounds like you're shaming.
No, not at all. I'm not shaming. I'm probably a little jealous because if I were that, I would probably be more fine with this, but I'm not. I'm not at all. Anyway, so
Oh,
but
and the other thing was today he's telling me about this, and I asked the guy. I said, "So with your cute doctor, did you let
Joe,
him? Did he give you a like a prostate exam?" And he's like, "No," and I wouldn't like that. And I'm like, oh my
I'd like to give
God,
him a
you are
prostate.
missing out on all the good things in life."
I'd give it to him. Anyway, so yes, I have a new doctor, and he is a gay doctor, and he is a hot doctor, and he is a body positive, non-shaming. Uh, Took half an hour to just sit and talk and catch up on everything and tell me how my other doctor was old school. And like I told him, I said, the other doctor that I had, I came in and sat down and he didn't ask me any questions or anything. I was ready and wanted to put me on a CPAP machine. And he kind of chuckled and he said, yeah, he was very old school. That's not me. Let's find out who you are and what you need. And so, yeah, I was very impressed. And if it weren't for the fucking colonoscopy thing, the rest of the visit would have been great. I would have skipped out of there and probably gone home and touched myself thinking about him. He's a lovely man. Lovely, lovely man. Anyway, all right, moving on from that, however, I did manage to watch, I don't know, like maybe 4 shows. I watched The Floor with Rob Lowe. It's on Hulu. I don't know where it's originally from, but it's on Hulu.
Fox.
If you want to watch it, Fox. Okay,
Fox.
that figures. Anyway, I I liked it. I've only seen one episode so far, but
There's only one episode.
what? Okay, there has
Only
been
one.
good. And I had to fast forward, click the 10 seconds forward through all the bullshit talking because it was like 40 minutes of talking and 20 minutes of actual gameplay. But I liked the gameplay. I liked the game. And I like Rob Lowe. I thought he did a really good job with it. And I think he's still adorable. I just do.
Well,
You watch it? Yeah.
I thought the show was I mean it's just a trivia game.
Yeah.
But what they did, they start off with, I think it was 81 people. Yes, it was 81, 9
Okay.
by 9. 81 people on a checkerboard,
Mm.
and then numbers, all the computer picks who's going to be the first person that plays, kind of thing.
Mm.
The light comes on underneath you and it's your turn. It felt an awful lot like Fox's um trivia game to try to grab a hold of the um Squid Game kind of feel.
Huh. Okay. Yeah, I can definitely see that, especially with
But
the number of
but
contestants.
what sucked was you got 81 people, and at the end of the game, you've only had 3 or 4 games.
Exactly. And that's
Nothing
why I was
happened.
annoyed because they spent way too much talking to everybody. I'm like, get 10, 20 seconds of facts and then play the game.
Okay, what I'm just thinking, okay, if you don't get called on,
Uh-huh.
you could put that on your resume that I was a reoccurring character in a TV series.
That's true.
Because I mean, if you're one of the 81 that
Yeah.
stays on, let's say, I don't know how long this thing is supposed to run. I guess until they have a winner, that's the length of
Yeah.
the season, I guess, because I don't know
Right.
what it just doesn't make any sense.
Uh-uh.
And I'm thinking, I mean, I'm going to be standing on this fucking checkerboard for 10 weeks until I get called on.
That's what I thought too.
Can I get a
I'm like, this
chair?
is yeah,
You
exactly.
I mean,
Anyway,
but the trivia game was fine.
yeah.
It's
I actually I really liked the way it was set up. I
like
liked the core
dog
idea.
breeds. Did you get all your dog breeds?
No, I actually missed a couple, but I think it was just because, brain fart, but yeah, there was a couple that I didn't pick up on.
Yeah, I mean, if they're faster than you are, then
Uh-huh.
you know.
And
But
there
it's
were,
like, yeah, I knew that was a pit bull. I knew that was a
mhm,
poodle. Yeah, I think I got all the dogs in my head. I knew what all the dogs were.
right.
There may have been one that I didn't know, and I'm trying to remember. Oh, it was oddly enough, it was the Chihuahua,
Oh,
because it looked more like a oh, what are they called? It looked more like the little
BW.
fluffy dogs, little tiny ones, and the hair just sticks straight out. Pomeranians.
Yeah.
It looked more like a Pomeranian to me.
Now see, that was when the Pomeranian came up, I was like, oh God, I know it, I know it, I know it, but I couldn't get it out. Of course, neither could he at first either. But um anyway, I think it's a fun show, but they've got to play more game and do less of the getting to know you shit. It just or it's gonna go. Okay, so I ended up not knowing, I didn't feel like really watching anything, and I had about 2 hours, so I ended up watching some Top Chef Denver, which is now on Netflix. And yes, it's reruns from several years ago, but it was still like you long enough you forget what happens and what they make and stuff, and it was fun. It was nice to just watch it. Um, and then I did watch two movies. I watched The Book Club, which is the one, of course, with Jane Fonda and Mary Steenburgen and Candice Bergen and Diane Keaton, and I remember them all. And also the men. They're very famous men counterparts too. Anyway, I liked the first one. I mean, it was kind of slow in certain places. It seemed more like it was a TV show that they just made a movie into, or into a movie. But I enjoyed it. And then I watched The Book Club, the next chapter. And after about half an hour, I said, I need to go do something else for now. And then I went back to it last night, finished it out. It wasn't as good as the first one, but it was still fun. I like seeing them, the actresses, and I like Candace Bergen a lot. So even though she ends up kind of playing the same Murphy Brown character over and over, she's good at it. So who cares? It's like B. Arthur. B. Arthur did B. Arthur really well. Just go with it and enjoy it.
I did want to mention
Yeah.
that, people are probably thinking, well, Tom, why aren't you talking about RuPaul's Drag Race? Well, the reason I'm not is because uh, MTV or Paramount or somebody, I don't know who, has decided that it's not going to show up on streaming until the season's over.
What?
Now, if I remember correctly, and I do, um, the reason to get Paramount Plus is unlimited RuPaul's Drag Race, right? Remember?
Uh-huh.
It was always going to be there and sometimes exclusively there.
Uh-huh.
Um, and yeah, so seriously, just what I want to do, watch the season after I know who wins for the first time. I mean, I could go back and watch the season, and that's fine if I've already seen the season. But to hope and pray that I don't see who's being eliminated weekly on Twitter or Facebook or one of
That's
the
stupid.
social media sites,
Mm-hmm.
or have my friends talk about it on Facebook. Or
Uh-huh. Because our friends will.
yes, and so I'm pissed. It's like, why am I taking Paramount Plus? Because it was supposed to be for RuPaul's Drag Race was one of the things, one of the main reasons. And that's and then I got rid of cable because I got everything there that I could possibly need. On Paramount, Peacock, Max, Disney, all of it. Everything I want is there. Well, except for RuPaul's Drag Race, which I can't see until April.
Yeah, that's a really bad move.
Yeah,
That
and
I know.
also I looked it up, if you buy the season,
Uh-huh.
it's $25 for the season. And if you want to see uncut, I mean untucked,
Untucked.
the half hour show
Yeah.
afterwards, it's $20.
No.
Yeah.
No.
So I've been blasting um everybody associated with the show on Twitter.
Well, you got to do you. But no, that's not the way to do that. That is fucked up. I mean, and I don't know. I don't understand that. That's a bad model.
I mean, even if it's show me the show, it plays on Friday on MTV. Saturday I can watch it on, Paramount.
Absolutely.
That's fine. I mean,
Yeah.
it's stupid, but it's fine. Last year, I would get up on Fridays and the episode was already on Paramount Plus.
Right.
The new episode
Hmm.
before it even aired on MTV, it had already, was available on Paramount Plus. It's just you can't. This is not good, and you have angered the gays. So I just want to let everyone know they have angered the gays. Okay.
Well, yeah, but I don't understand that. Oh well, whatever. Moving on.
So
Um, okay, so yeah, so I watched the book club stuff, and actually that was kind of it. I really haven't had a chance to watch much of anything because I've just been trying to do projects around the house. So, okay. Advice. This one comes from Ask Someone Else's Mom, and I am going to paraphrase this because it's actually rather long and it really needed someone to edit it, or they just needed to have the space. But anyway, here we go. Up until about 5 years ago, when my husband and I moved about 600 miles away from the town I grew up in, my best friend from childhood was the person I was closest to, besides my own mother and my husband. We shared everything, went through everything together, helped support each other through more than I can even begin to remember. I guess it was probably because we both got busy with our lives. We drifted away, or we haven't been in close contact, and we send each other birthday and holiday messages and talk once or twice a year. I know the lack of constant contact is as much on me as her, but when I found out that for my mom that she ended her marriage and moved in with a woman she met through a mutual friend, I was devastated because she never reached out to me to tell me that she had ended her marriage and started a new life with someone she cares about. We went through so much together when we were growing up and teenagers and into our adult lives and started families. Both of us went through tragedies, high school, lost our parents, blah, blah, blah. Okay. I'm sure she and her family went through tough times of divorce. Had I known about them, I would have been there for her as she's my oldest friend. But she never reached out. And even through birthday messages and the last time we talked, she never mentioned anything. So do you think I should contact her and let her know about some of what's been happening? Let her know I know about some of what's happening in her life? Or do you think that for some reason she doesn't want me to know and I should just let our friendship kind of die? I didn't know. I say reach out, and you don't need to necessarily say, I know everything that's been going on. Why didn't you tell me? But like reach out if you really care about this person, you need to make an effort to reach out more and rekindle, your close bond, unless she makes it clear from that, she's not really interested in that anymore. If she's not interested, let her go. Otherwise, you need to pick up the phone and email and text just as much as she does. What do you say? You're muted, dear.
Or, to also say, have you been in the past, have you said discouraging things about gay and lesbian people? Maybe that's why she didn't tell you, kind of thing.
Oh, that's
Kind of
interesting. Yeah, because it doesn't
look in
say
the
whether
mirror.
this person is gay or not.
Yeah, look in the mirror and say, why did you think that?
Yeah.
I mean, why wouldn't she why wouldn't she come out to you? I mean, if she hasn't
Mhm.
come out now, why not?
Yeah,
And
because it says that they both have kids that are about the same age and et cetera, et cetera. So
well, and
that's interesting.
think about the people who you don't come out to.
Yeah.
Why don't you come out to them? Well, because they don't want to know,
Mm.
because they said the things that they've said in the past have proved that they don't want to know. I can think of a lot of people that I don't talk about any of this to. Actually, surprisingly, my mother-in-law is one of those people that doesn't want to talk about it. So that's why her bringing it up was shocking.
Yeah.
So, if you've made a point in the past, you're probably the problem. I'm sure that you are the problem from, you're writing this from your point of view as an angel, but, you know,
Mhm.
I'm just,
No,
I'm just,
that's a really good point. Yeah.
that's what I would be questioning,
Hmm. Interesting.
because I can talk to friends that I'm distant, I don't see on a regular basis, because let's face it, I mean, I didn't see you in person for a year and a half.
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
And so, things happen, but
Mhm.
we can still talk and communicate,
Right.
unless I know not to bring up something that upsets you,
Mm.
or I know not to bring up something that I have personally not told you about, because you're going to insult me without even knowing that you are.
Yeah, and see there's that. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
Okay. So yeah, no, that's a really good point though. Okay, so so someone else's mom writes back and says it's not at all uncommon for even formerly close friends to drift apart. Eventually, when divided by time and physical distance. When her world was changing, your old friend may have felt like she no longer needed to bring you into her confidence, especially if she had a good local support network. It's possible by that point she'd simply lost the habit of leaning heavily on you. I can see no reason why you can't reach out to her now that you've been through she's been through such major life changes. Once you reestablish contact, it'll be up to her to decide what details of her life she chooses to share with you. None of this necessarily means your friendship is at an end. It's quite possible it's just settling into a different phase. That's good too. But I don't know. I think you might be onto something.
Yeah, I don't think she's touched onto that. And
Because switching from a husband to a woman and then not saying anything, that is a key right there.
yeah,
So, yeah.
I mean, I
Okay.
yeah, I can think a lot of times where I've done that.
Yeah.
Where I said, or you say my spouse. I've actually said my wife before, just to
Mm,
make it easier.
huh. I don't know. I have gotten out of a couple tricky situations by saying that one of my friends was my boyfriend. But that was like once or twice when before I learned that I can say no thank you and mean it. I don't need a reason. If I say no thank you, it means no thank you. Anyway, okay, moving on. Hey, Timothy writes in and says, "Hey Chubs, if you couldn't play yourself in a biopic, what actor would you cast for the part?" Definitely Matt Damon. You
Uh,
just have to pack on some weight. Yeah.
well,
No, I
think about it. Brandon Fraser did it and won an Oscar. So
that's true. That's very good.
I would probably. I mean, just so that I mean, it's the closest I think to who I look like anyway. I would probably go for Brad Pitt.
Hmm. Yeah, I could see that. I mean, he looks a little older than you do though, but
Yeah, well,
yeah.
yeah, it
But
happened.
yeah. No, it would have to be one of the good ones who loves to do the good character parts, you know. But I don't
Yeah,
know.
because
I think Matt could do a good job.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Unless except you would constantly be known as. Well, do you have as many moles as Matt Damon does?
I knew you were going to go there. You
It's
just cannot
gross. It's
talk about
gross.
Matt Damon without
He's
you
pasty
talking
and
about
he's
his mole.
moly.
I would connect
Mole,
the
mole, mole,
dots with
mole,
my
mole.
tongue on that man. Just so there you go. Anyway, different
I would
perspective.
prefer you, Tom. Is it Tom Goss?
Oh, Tom Goss. Oh, girl.
Well, see, he could play you because then because he has musical talent, so he could do that part of your personality as well.
He could do any part of my personality. He's a nice guy. Um, anyway, all right, moving on from that. Hey, Chubbs, if you could break a world record, what would you choose? And this, of course, comes from our Timothy. And Timothy, by the way, step up with some more questions because we're out and you ask really good ones. So would love to have some more from you. But yeah, world record. What do you think?
Um, Probably something that I make being considered the best, like my lasagna, you
Mm,
know, lasagna contest. Mine would be chosen as the best lasagna ever of all times, which it has been already in the past on a more, local social kind of situation.
right.
Uh, but yeah, I mean, something worldwide, a world record. Yeah, that's because it's certainly not going to be running, jumping, or squats. No sit-ups for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that. No, I think mine would probably be for most books ever sold in one day. Most copies of a book that I wrote sold in one day. I mean, like the most of any book that's ever been sold just in one day. That would be great, especially if I actually got decent money for it. You know what? No, I'm not going to go into that. All right, moving on. Time for what's in your lunchbox. Well, we had Mr. Phoenix Dave. He wrote in and said something here. He goes, he says, so hubby and I decided to go somewhere different for lunch. He drove around and ended up we drove around and ended up at Twin Peaks Bar and Restaurant. Little did we know, it was a different version of Hooters. Wow. The food was pretty good, although the waitress knew instantly that we were not there for the peaks. I had many beef tacos, which were good and spicy. Scott had grilled trio of chicken, shrimp, and fish, settled with a side of French.
Fries.
Yeah, oh, okay, French fries. Huh. Wow.
Well, first of all, the grease on the bottom of the top
Uh-huh.
thing
Yeah,
makes my mouth water.
I
Okay.
know. Yeah.
And these are, now he's vegan, right?
No, not Phoenix Dave. I don't think so.
Okay. Okay. Well, good. Because he did say beef tacos. So
Hmm.
yeah, because there's nothing like greasy tacos. I'm sorry. It's just I got used to it with
Um,
Jim Boys.
okay.
It's like, we used to eat Jim Boys, and you're eating the taco, and then and then all of a sudden you realize there's a line of grease that's
Uh-huh.
dripping off
Yeah.
your elbow,
Yep.
and that's why you don't wear long sleeve shirts when you
Hmm.
or jackets or anything when you're doing that.
I always end up wrapping a napkin around the bottom.
And then I just see chili, and I see some sour cream, and it's like, yeah, I don't need none of that
Yeah,
bullshit lettuce crap. Just
I
let's get.
agree. That taco looks great, and those fries look really good
Yeah,
too.
it's funny because the fries stand out because the fish, chicken, and shrimp, they all look the same. They're the same color.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the just the fries coming just like boom in my face. So
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I would take either of those.
Oh.
And what's the name of this place again?
It is Twin Peaks.
Twin Peaks. Ooh, okay.
Get it?
Yeah,
Mm,
I do. Yeah.
okay. Well, thank you, Mr. Phoenix Dave, and also Mr. Moose wrote in and said baked apple pie, crumb topping with walnuts. Haven't tried it yet. Just out of the oven.
Oh, look how pretty his
I know.
the crust is.
Yeah. Mm, that's a nice. Yeah. And walnuts. Friday night is pizza night. Everything pizza. I want one. Uh, okay. Southern tradition calls for black-eyed peas and cooked greens for a new year. I slow cooked the beans with country ham. Tasted pretty good. I don't cook greens, they stink. Don't like them either. Tonight, served the peas with catfish. Almost made cornbread. The cornbread was delicious. Had corn, sour cream, honey in there, really moist, brushed butter on top. Oh, sir.
Yeah, I made split pea soup after Christmas. Well, actually,
Yeah.
I think I made it. It ended up being for the day after New Year's, and it was really good. Sean actually he hates for some reason split pea soup because he doesn't like deliciousness. Um, uh, so I ended up eating a lot of split pea soup, but it was always good. Yeah, but we don't get enough catfish here in this area.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. I don't like split pea soup either. But here's the thing. Actually, I can say that if I make the split pea soup and add the butter and stuff that I like to it, I like it. But when I was a kid, and here we go, when I was homeless, we used to have to go to churches and they would hand out great big bags of just broken up pea mush. And then my grandmother would get a big old ham hock and she'd cook up this stuff, and it was the most bland, sticky, lumpy, gross blah with a chunk of icky fat in the middle. I hated it. And I've always hated split pea soup ever since, until about a year or two ago when I said, you know what, I'm gonna make it myself and I'm gonna add my stuff to it. and Mother and I both agreed that it was really good. But
I'm
as a
saying Mother and
general
I,
rule,
you sound so much like you're from Psycho. Mother and I did this. It's like,
Mother and I did that, yeah.
yeah,
Well, she's kind of my taste tester because, like, if she likes it, then I know it's good because she's a little finicky with some stuff.
yeah, I know what it's like living with somebody that's finicky.
Right? Yeah. I mean, the boy doesn't like cake. What the is that
Oh,
about?
I made he'd never had a patty melt before, I don't think.
Oh,
So I made patty melts, and now it's on the rotation now.
that's really good.
Yeah.
All right. Golden Rule Services want you to know about an important tool in preventing you from contracting HIV. PrEP is a medication proven to be 99% effective when preventing HIV infection. To learn more about PrEP, visit sacgrs.org. Find Tom's other podcast at swannerandjudd.com. Find my books at justkisstheguy.com. Find all our links at allmylinks.com/chubsgonewild. And give us a call at
408-69 Chubs.
Yay. All right. Well, thank you so much for tuning in and joining us for another amazing episode. Remember, we will not be here next week because Tom is leaving us for a while to go support his husband in Las Vegas. Yes.
I'm going to be sitting in the cold at a softball field when it's like under 40 degrees. Yay!
Vegas. Yes. Well, you know what? The things that we do for those we love. The people that we do for those we love. That's a whole
Now
nother
I'm going to go to the
podcast.
gym.
All right. We'll catch you next week. Or, well, 2 weeks from now. All right. Bye.
A network of inclusion.
UnivazPods.net.
This show is part of the Pride 48 network.
This has been a For Fuck's Sake production.